It's time once again for the fall issues of FQ and Sir, and exotic Anguilla is on deck. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make this trip, but it's in good hands with Michael and Bob as they're going to shoot in the ultra-exclusive St. Regis Temanos villas. The concept for FQ magazine is Saint-Tropez glam, and for Sir, it's an edgy look with tons of grit. With 14 shots and temperatures reaching a sweltering 95 degrees, let's hope they can keep their cool.
I know it's hot.
This house gets real small, real quick.
Look at me. Watch me. My eyes on the runway. Watch me. Cover stories.
10 tickets to Paradise hasn't been easy to arrange, but we've got our gear and our crew on board for another fashion adventure on the island of Anguilla.
I started to assemble a team that I thought would be good to do the shoot. I always like to mix it up, but obviously I always like to be with people that I know travel well.
And it's a big deal because you're traveling, in our case, from Toronto to Miami, Miami to St. Martin, taking a charter across. Anguilla. We were looking for something that really we could shoot that had some drama to it that we hadn't done before. We started looking at properties around the world that we thought were architecturally interesting and had a story to tell, and came across Temanos, a place where we could do this kind of crazy getaway, a place in the sun.
Okay, kids, welcome home. Welcome home.
Everyone heads to the pool, of course, but inspired by the location, Bob and photographer Jeffrey Berenger start to scout for the shoots for both FQ and Sir.
And we chose this one. Well, I put in my opinion to choose this one because I felt that the architecture was more suited to shooting, and it would lend itself to do two complete stories within the same environment because of just the big white walls, and I knew the sun was going to hit it in a certain way.
While the team settles in, Michael takes the welcome tour with property manager Warren Buttle.
Wow, this is beautiful.
It is, it is. Temanos is Greek for sanctuary. It is said to be one of the best looking villas in the whole entire world. We're also one of the most expensive villas.
We couldn't afford to pay $75,000 for the week, so we made a few phone calls, ended up connecting with the Anguilla Tourism Board, and then through them to the owner of this house. He was gracious enough to say, well, why don't you be my guest? So it was about 2 seconds from why don't you to saying yes.
I heard Jennifer Lopez was just here.
Sorry, if I tell you, I have to like squeeze your throat. Yeah? It's said that Anguilla is the spot in the world now. If you don't have a house in Anguilla, you're just...
You're nobody.
You're still trying. You're still trying.
We all lead incredibly busy lives, and so to escape for a moment with a magazine, if you've got a choice to go somewhere else, I want to take you somewhere beautiful.
It'll have to be an early night for our team. They have 3 days to get 2 big stories with 7 shots each. With creative still up in the air, they're going to have to be up with the sun. Our day begins with everyone busy prepping for our first FQ shot. It calls for Saint-Tropez glam, so Michael wastes no time in meeting with stylist Alex and his assistant Aaron.
Sexy.
I was thinking like really simple.
And the stylists that we used, both 2 young guys from New York that have their finger on the pulse, but have a commercial consciousness, so they understand at the end of the day, there's a balance.
It's Python.
It's Python. Wow. No top, you reckon?
No top.
I think that'd be fun.
The wind machine's working perfectly.
With model Sarah ready, photographer Jeffrey Berenger starts into the day. We've worked with Jeffrey on many occasions. He shot our cover last fall, and he also shot Sir Richard Branson for the last cover of Sir.
You know, they're fun. You know, they give a lot of freedom, which is great, because that's important.
That's nice, beautiful.
They say, here's the range, can you do something within there? And that's really great, and it's nice that people trust me to bring me here and say, here's what we're doing, show us what you got, and it's fun. Hug the wall, like hug my...
Jeffrey's experience will be key, as we'll be jumping back and forth between both shoots. A different way to work for the team, but timing is going to be crucial.
Yeah, that's good.
While the FQ model changes, there's time for some Sir styling. As the creative is constantly evolving, Michael wanted edge and was after more of a Mad Max theme.
We wanted to bring Alex, the model, and he has a real Abercrombie vibe, and he's the new polo kid and all of this, so we knew that it would be an easy thing to just throw him in shorts and sneakers and we could do whatever we wanted. But as we worked through it, we decided that it would be better to come up with a concept for it, so it became sort of more of a Mad Max.
Now, the way it went down was the stylist came to us and said, look, I really think that his look was too boy next door. So trimming his hair for this kind of Mad Max thing made sense. The last couple of issues have been outstanding, but they've been relatively safe, commercially, editorially relatively safe. So we wanted it to be a little bit more edgy. And sometimes edgy becomes dodgy, so it's a pretty fine balance.
The team knows in order to create 2 world-class shoots, it's going to take more than just the right makeup and clothes on the right model.
We had a very clear direction on the clothes. We knew that it was fall, we knew that it would want it to be glamorous. We started with a physical location that was architecturally strong, which meant that the clothes had to be strong in of themselves. It couldn't be a little dress story, for example. And then we found Sarah. We thought she was fantastic. We'd seen her book.
The way the styling was being explained to me, I felt like that it needed a girl with a bit of an edge, and I thought that she was like totally perfect for it.
And Sarah is a chameleon. She's just amazing. She puts on the clothes, puts on the makeup, and she changes into this feral sex kitten. Stunning.
The baking sun slows progress, but our South African beauty Sarah stays focused and lights up the camera.
She was a rock star through and through. Couldn't believe it. So we end up with the glam background, and then the story evolves. So you've got the creative team, and it goes from that to kind of a rocker, Saint-Tropez meets rocker chick.
I really like the
poncho. That wolf kind of girl. She-devil.
She's a she-devil. She is a she-devil. How tight are we, Jeffrey?
Full length.
Wicked. Just wicked.
She's wicked.
Unbelievable.
Good legs, man.
They're quite long.
It looks like 4 lines. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I asked specifically.
I know, thank God.
The
Glad he listened
through
to
this
you.
time.
So glad God's listening to Jeffrey.
The FQ shoot is going well, so the team gears up to start in on Sir.
Well, the shoot for Sir is unusual for us, again, a first, in that we're shooting it in black and white. What we wanted to do was make this a very edgy story.
The team started off so optimistically, but after a couple of shots, it's clear it's just not coming together.
I didn't think it had a strong fashion direction. I think he looked, simple and not strong. After a while, it's clear that they're not working, but there's a little period where you're not too sure.
The heat is becoming unbearable, almost as unbearable as the silence on the set. So it's time to move on to the next shot.
You know what? Get the Marc Jacobson with the studs too. Get all of them. Just get it.
Jeffrey steps up his effort to coax some edge out of the model Alex.
Maybe just sweat off or something.
It seems like edgy is getting a little dodgy.
The most challenging thing about the creative process, and the wonderful thing about the creative process, is that you don't get it right every time.
You got to shake things up to get noticed, and then start finessing what you get to make it a successful product.
Okay, thanks.
So you've got to be prepared to make mistakes and step back from those and relook at them. And it's not a mistake even when it's just sometimes it's not right.
At the end of the day, FQ is going well, but Sir is lost. We've spent a lot of money and traveled a long way to paradise. We have to find our way soon.
Cover stories.